The following podcast is recommended for mature audiences only. The following podcast is recommended for adults only. Maturity is not a requirement.
Hello and welcome to episode 74, isn't it? Is it 4 or 3? I was absolutely certain it was 4 and now I'm saying it. I'm not sure. Let's go with 74. It might not be 74. Episode 74 of Dear Download Podcast.
I could check.
Great start already. This is a podcast about Download Festival. Just that, this episode, to be honest, unless we go off again. Fuck me. I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. This is a podcast about Download Festival, the music and the industry, and all other aspects related to rock and heavy metal. But this episode is just about the first one of those, Download Festival, because this is our first episode of Download Festival 2024. I am Adam, and of course, I am here with Simon. How are you doing, my man?
Hello, and good day to you, sir. Good
day. So it's been... Well, at the time of recording, just over a week since we came back from Download. We didn't want to rush an episode out. I think we have done in the past. But you said your voice had gone. I actually just didn't want to do it last week. A couple of days after coming back, I was exhausted still. I was like, I don't want to talk about it. So I'm glad we waited an extra week. Thank you for your patience.
It's been good. I think that's good. I think we've let it settle. We've let it settle. Yeah. We thought about it a bit. I think this is the perfect time to do it.
Yeah, but we spoke about vlogs before as well, and it's always a rush to get the vlog out. You want to be the first person to get it out. I feel like it was a bit more relaxed with some people this year. Although Chids was the first vlog.
He was editing his vlog while we were there.
Yeah,
that's how he got his out so quickly. I was so slow this year. I only got mine out 4 days ago. I was really slow. I was just like, I really can't be bothered this year. I was like, it's a great vlog. I really love it. But I was just like, it's so much effort to edit all of those. I mean, I must have taken, 300 different little videos and
really?
to edit all those and to get them in and to edit all the band stuff. And, I know a lot of people do a lot more when it comes to editing videos. But when you've got this much stuff to edit, it's like editing a little movie if it's over an hour. So, Yeah, some people were quite slow. Mine's done really well, so I can't complain. But it probably would have done even better if I'd have got it out quicker.
Yeah. To be honest, I haven't watched any vlogs yet. I've seen some snippets of some of them, but again, I haven't wanted to watch any. I guess some people, as soon as they come back, they want to see from what's happened over the weekend, but. I think I want to let it settle for a bit, maybe 3-4 weeks, and then I'll start rewatching all the vlogs and remembering everything that happened and seeing everything else that happened.
A lot of people are like that. I think the initial numbers are just people with the blues. I think the other people will be like, give it a month or so and I'll go back and watch those download videos. Also, everyone and their nan has a download vlog these days, so you've got you've literally got about 300 vlogs to choose from, because fucking hell, I thought last year was bad. Jesus Christ, there are a lot of vlogs now. Wowza. It's insane. Yeah. It's insane. I remember in 2017 having to really search for vlogs for download. Yeah. And now it's like, you type in download vlogs, you could scroll for God knows how long. It's insane.
There is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember only a few years back I was looking for them, and like I said, there weren't many. There was obviously TPD, TV, Chids, you, Dilcam. Mm-hmm. There was maybe 4 or 5 others that I didn't really know who they are, but that was about it. And now I've seen at least 50, I reckon.
Yeah, easily.
Not obviously what's but yeah, hopefully some of you have enjoyed some of the vlogs so far. Like I said, I'm gonna give it a little bit. Although I was looking forward to what was his name? He came up in can't remember his name now, but the alt. I'm going to go through all the vlogs and the friends that we have and their vlogs at the end anyway. But yeah, the Alt Pulse project. God, that's almost as hard to say as Nintendo.
Boom.
But yeah, he is in the Discord, and we made a WhatsApp chat. And the whole weekend, he was like, right, I'm going over to this band, and I'm going over to this band. And I was just monging in the camp, thinking it's raining, I don't want to go out. And like the whole weekend, he was doing stuff. So I thought his vlog is going to be absolutely packed full of stuff. He only got it out a day or two ago, and it's like 2.5 hours long.
Jesus
I knew it was going to be big. I knew it was going to be. And there's lots and lots of like little cutaways as well, even right from the beginning. So it's like you said, it's like doing a movie. You got to go through every tiny bit and go, oh, I want a bit in here. I want a bit in here.
Yeah. I mean, if I could, I would spend like, if I had the time, I'd spend like a whole 3 weeks editing it and make it into something incredible. But you have to get them out so quickly. I'm surprised that people can do some really good edits. And put, because I'd love to put extra stuff in and clips and green screen and all sorts of fucking crazy shit that I'd love to put in, but you just don't have time, because if you get it out a month after, it's very likely that you're not going to get, it's not going to get seen by as many people as it would have before. Depends how much you care about views, I guess. Where you get people like Chids that just don't give a fuck about who watches their videos. They just do their videos because they like them.
Yeah.
I'm only a little bit of a whore. I love doing the videos, but I do care a little bit about the views, but not as much as some people do.
Yeah. And like you said, there's so many out there now. You do want to be getting them out fairly quickly. Maybe not like the Tuesday or the Wednesday, because you also want to take the time to make it good. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you just want to beat the rush of everybody else vlogging, because it's so easy now, I guess. Well, it's not easy. It's I was not expecting to go down this rabbit hole of vlogs, but right at the beginning. But anyway, we'll get to download in a little bit.
It's happened.
But yeah, we've spoken about your vlogs before, and like, is an hour's worth of footage, or roughly hour and a half, over 5 days.
Yeah.
So like, you're not actually filming very much at all compared to how long we're there.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff doesn't get used and gets cut out, to be fair. But yes, you're right. Yeah. I mean, it depends. I think some people's vlogs are boring because they're not filming anything interesting, or to them it's interesting. So you have to try and make it interesting. So, I mean, there's so much stuff you miss because so much stuff happens spontaneously and you're like, can't get my camera out. Like, if you had someone, I said this to Chids before, I said, we should do a festival where it's a joint vlog, me and you, but someone films us the whole time. So we're not filming, but we almost have like a camera crew filming us. So you don't miss anything, because so much funny stuff happens that you miss because you're not filming it. So, I think that would be a cool idea, to be followed around by like a crew of people. And you've got to be quick to catch some of Chids' stuff, because he's like a tornado. Yeah.
So Tasmanian devil.
That's the best. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Straight in, straight out. Bye.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Awesome. But yeah, so on that, we have made a lot of good friends through doing the podcast who do vlogs. So like I said, I want to give them a shout out at the end of the show, but I just put in a Discord and said, everybody who does a vlog, put the name of your channel here, so I don't have to scroll back through a load of channels and vlogs. But nobody's bloody done it. So I might have to make the effort to scroll, or I might just say, none of you are getting a shout out apart from Simon. But anyway, Download Festival 2024. Let's have an overview before we go into it. How was your weekend?
In an overview, like a general overview.
Yeah.
Great. A really great weekend, but a weird one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you said to me, actually, I'm not going to go into too much at the moment, but yeah, I remember you saying to me at the weekend, like, I've got a lot of complaints, and none of them are the weather.
Yeah. We'll get on to weather, I'm sure, but I don't have any like complaints that are like mental complaints. I have sort of small complaints, but I do think that it was a weird day. Like, Friday felt so sparse for people in the arena compared to other downloads. It was a bit weird, and it just had this download had a good vibe, but also a strange one. I don't know why, but like, this download was hard to explain, especially coming off the back of last year, which was such a record-breaking, huge, big celebration of Download Festival. Compared to last year, this one was a whimper, not a bang. but it was still good.
Yeah.
Like, I still enjoyed myself. I still saw some fucking great performances. Still, met a lot of great people. But yeah, it feels very different coming off the back of last year. Just completely. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I felt that as well. It felt different. I think I probably spent more time in the campsite than I usually do these days. Not quite as much as I used to back in the day. But I mean, well, at least we'll get into it again as well. But at least Machine Head played Davidian this time. I bet you thought of me when they played that.
100%.
Because we weren't together at that
100%.
time. I did message you, but it didn't go through, or you didn't.
No, I got it afterwards though, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, they did."
But let's start with obviously one of the big problems last year was the traffic. This year, next to no traffic as far as I was aware. We got there early again anyway, so we wouldn't have seen it.
No,
but I don't think I heard any complaints about traffic. Car parking, was a bit of a shit show.
Really?
For some people, well, I mean, because we were considered artists as well, and press. We didn't get either of our parking passes sent to us until the day before.
Yes,
the day before download, and I had to print them out. And my printer was buggered. I had a message friend of mine, Jacobs, at I think it was something like 1:30 in the morning. The night before Wednesday, the night before leaving, it was like, is your printer working? Can you print these passes off for me? So that was a bit shit. And also the paying on the door, I guess, paying at the gate.
Yeah.
Is exactly what we said it was going to be. Anyone's going to be able to get them. There was no way they were going to be able to know who had not turned up.
No.
Because that's what they said. Like, there might be some available due to no-shows. Well, how are you going to know there's no shows?
Yeah, it was...
There's no way.
I think they all...
And it just had a...
Go on, sorry.
And it just had a sign saying, right, car parking £35.
Yeah.
So anybody could have got it. There was no-shows.
No.
Well, there might have been.
Well, there might have been, but you wouldn't have known. And also, the whole West car park situation was bollocks, just like I said it would be. It was a ploy. It's a ploy to keep people away.
Yeah.
And it did work to a degree, I think. I'm not sure if West Car Park ever got full. I know that the other two did at some point.
And they did put an announcement saying North was full, didn't they?
Yeah, but I don't know about West. West was bigger because they'd obviously extended it because they'd pushed Blue Camp right back from where we stayed last year. Excuse me, and people were staying up there. So from our point of view, I have, apart from waiting for us to get our slightly different type of wristbands, I have never got into download so easily before. It was very easy. It was park up, get your stuff on your trolley, go in. Yeah, we had to wait a little bit, but everyone else went straight in, straight through, straight to the campsite. Literally no issues. For us, I don't know about people in different areas of download, but certainly for us, one of the easiest I've ever had. Yeah,
well, I almost didn't get let into that car park.
Really?
Yes, really. So I mean, so what was said was only that car park was for mini moshers and quiet camping, and they announced beforehand that they will be checking your parking passes. They will be checking tickets to see if you're meant to be in that car park, which they weren't doing. So you guys were at the front. You got through straight away. I had this printed out guest car park pass. Yeah, it was a guest car park pass, wasn't it?
Didn't anyone in the car have a normal one?
Mine turned up Thursday that we were there, the day when we were there.
Okay, so I was going to say, we just... Adam had one, so he just went... They went, go on then.
Yeah. But yeah, so we showed that, and the girl there was like, oh, I don't know if you're meant to be here. I think you're meant to be at one of the other car parks. But because I know what I'm talking about, and I know that the only box office we could get our wristbands were from West, I had to say to her, no, this is where we need to be. This is the only car park, the only place we can get those wristbands, so we're fine. And she was like, all right, go on through then.
Schooling the download
all these other
stuff.
people that shouldn't have, all of these other people that shouldn't have been there, according to what Download Festival said, got in fine. And the people who should be there almost didn't get in. I had to put my foot down and put what was Jacob saying? Like, my tone was like, no, we are parking here sort of thing. This is where we need to be.
When you know, I like it.
Yeah. But so I thought that was quite funny. But yeah, like you said, we had to wait a little bit to get ours, but they still turned up a bit earlier because it wasn't supposed to open till 12 that bit.
Yeah,
and he got there about 11, so it was fine.
That was all good.
But yeah, Chids did a video timing how long it took to get from where we were parked to our tents. It was 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's insane.
So yeah, it was a good year for that.
Yeah,
definitely a good year.
I feel like compared to other years where it was just horrendous to get anywhere, it's good. It's much better. It was much better last year. It was much better the year before. It's got gradually better every year, but even going back to like 2022, it still wasn't that hard to get in. So, or they had to walk a little bit further.
But there were a lot of people complaining.
Were there? Oh God, you mean about download? I'm sorry. Go back a second. Wait, people were complaining about download. Are you serious? Because I've never heard any complaints about it before, ever.
No, they were complaining about the people. They were complaining about us. They were like, "Oh, you shouldn't. You selfish people shouldn't be going to West. That's for mini moshers and quiet. We don't want to have to walk from North all the way to quiet." And it's like, well, I think I said to you at the time, I saw loads of people posting it, and I thought, don't blame the people. Like, generally, people are going to choose the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people are selfish. In a collective group, people are selfish. Are going to do what is easiest for them. If you don't, you're losing out because everybody else is doing it. Blame the people who are organising it and said they were going to do one thing and didn't do it. And they said they weren't going to let general campers
Message
in that
those
side.
people is, be better next time. Be more clever like us. Take a risk.
Yeah.
And go fuck yourself.
Yeah. But like I said, don't blame the people. Like, if you're going to complain about anybody, complain about download and the staff. They should train the staff better.
They let us in.
Not train them, but
if someone lets me in, I'm going.
Saying.
Someone lets me in an area, I'm going into that area. It's standard.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I'm not very good at breaking rules.
Someone's going to let me in. I'm in, mate. Like, there you go. See you later.
Not like Stu, who was backstage with us when he shouldn't have been. I would have been shitting myself that whole time that I was in there if I was him. I'd been like, crap, I'm not meant to be here. I would have been so nervous the whole time.
Yeah, see, that's what you can't be. You've got to act. The more confident you are, the more likely you are to have no issues. If you're standing there looking like you're not supposed to be somewhere, you'll get someone will ask you, "Excuse me, mate, are you supposed to be here?" If you look like you're supposed to be there, no one will ask you shit. And Stu's really good at that for some reason.
And what?
Stu's really good at that. But do you know what he looks like to me? He looks like a security man. He just looks like a security man. He looks like a bouncer at a club or someone who does security. So he always looks like he's meant to be there because they're like, this big cunt is definitely meant to be here because he works here or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's why he's getting into all these places. So fair play.
Yeah, that's fine. Give it a couple of years. We'll be on the booking team, and we will be meant to be there wherever we go. We'll be like, I'm meant to be here. I'm fucking up Pete Wentz's dressing room. I'm meant to be here doing this. Get him on TikTok. Get him on Twitter after. See that? See what I did to your dressing room, prick.
Oh, I love it.
Anyway, we've got off a little bit. What else did we do?
Well, getting there was easy. So that's the first bit.
Yeah.
We set up in Blue Camp, which was a bit different to normal because it was much thinner and longer than Blue Camp's ever been. So it was kind of a bit weird. We were quite close to almost both sides of the barrier of each side, sort of, on the outskirts of download, which felt a bit weird. We were in a weird place this year, but we got all the tents in. We had a nice little area, didn't we? We were quite close to the toasty place and the convenience store and the toilets, which was far enough away from the toilets, but near the toilets. So I feel like we were in a really good location this year, probably one of the best we've been in, I would say, apart from that fucking hill when you were tired. That was a bit knackering.
But I think that was a good thing. If you maybe dipping into the weather a little bit, but walking from where we were towards that toasty van at the top of Blue for people who were there, maybe not quite at the top, but you know what I mean. There's a toasty thingy there. Walked a little bit towards that, and on the ground there was just like pools of water where it was just sat on the ground. You know, it wasn't soaking in where we were. I think it was probably going down the hill. So, and I was walking through thinking like, I'll just imagine sleeping here. You'd be able to touch like the top of the water through the tent.
Yeah, it's horrible.
That must be horrible.
It's horrible. Saw some really wet tents.
So yeah, luckily
this year, some really wet tents.
Yeah, but so luckily we didn't have any of those pools of water or I guess standing water is the correct term.
Just not doing anything, not moving anywhere, just there.
Yeah, we didn't have any near our campsites. Yeah,
we were okay for the most part.
We did all right.
We did good. Good location.
Yeah, without even realizing it, you know, we could have gone up gone off a bit further, thinking, oh, if it rains, you know, we want to be higher. But no, it was horrible up there.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it's a nice location. So, like the weather on Wednesday was nice. It was lovely. It was quite mild. Little breaks of sunshine. I remember in the evening sitting next to Alexander and everyone, and Chids was fucking doing something. I don't know. And everyone was laughing, and we were just sitting there, and like there was, you know, we had the sunset. The sunset was coming in, and I was thinking, this is fucking great. I hope it's like this the whole time. But yeah, Wednesday was. I went to the village a couple of times. I think I went with Alex and a couple of other people had gone to see a band in the doghouse. So we went there and checked out a little bit of one band. Yeah. And then we just head back. The rest of the time we just spent at the tents, just drinking and chilling with everyone. Really on Wednesday, it was good times, man.
Yeah. I think the first thing I did once we set up and did all the trips to the car that we wanted to do, I wanted to get my artist wristband. I assumed it was going to be an artist wristband because we got the weekend guest bands. I wasn't aware that was the only one we were going to get.
Yeah.
So I spent about an hour wandering around trying to find the correct place to get the other wristband because I didn't think we'd be able to get into RIP with these wristbands.
Get you.
I was wandering around for ages with Chids. He bought a chair on the way, which didn't last very long.
Broke immediately as soon as he sat on it. Literally immediately.
Yeah, not lasting very long is probably quite generous.
That's the shittest chair ever. It looked like shit as well. I don't know why on earth he bought that chair. I would not have bought that chair. It looked like shit.
If you look at it, so it was from Fat Frank's. See, everybody else is sponsored by Fat Frank's and gets you 10% off. We'll tell you how it is. Fat Frank's, he bought this chair. It looked really nice. It looked like it was going to be really comfortable. He handed it over. It was all, like you said, it was already dirty.
Yeah, it was shit.
And he sat in it once and it ripped.
I would have thrown that chair in Frank's face, man, 5 minutes after sitting in it. That was my chair. Fucking hell.
Yeah. But yeah, so after that, like, on the walk from like blue and black area to the arena, you have to cross the road.
Yes.
Well, if you go left and go up that road, there was these signs saying artists. So we were wandering around following them for ages, and it got to a dead end, and we were like, oh, we don't know what to do. There was a load of concrete. It was all concrete up there. There's a car park. It looked like there was a team of staff being trained or told where they're meant to be going, what they're meant to be doing. But yeah, it was me, Chids, and we found another guy wandering around up there looking for the same place we were looking for. So we got chatting with him, and it turned out he was a guitar tech for one of the bands. Who was the band? I wanted to say Bambi Thug, but it's not Bambi Thug. It'll come to me. It'll come back to me. Because it was quite cool. You know, I said to him, like, so is the rest of the guys here, or you just... And he was like, no, they come up tomorrow. So he'd gone up to scout everything on his own by the looks of it. But yeah, so we managed to find... I actually had to phone Quenny and say, like, where the hell is this thing? We've been wandering around for about an hour. And it was right down by the road. So instead of turning left at that road, we had to turn right at that road. And I got there, and they went to give me a wristband, and it was the one that I already had. And I was like, oh, I've already got one of them, because we're here as press as well. So, okay, I didn't need to come then. I didn't need to be wandering around for an hour trying to find you.
You got to see some bits of download.
Yeah, and like we've said a few times since download, it was a learning curve. We know where things are now. Yep. We know where the artist car park is, so if we want to park there on concrete in the future,
unless there's drastic changes, we know a little bit more about where stuff is.
Yeah. So I went in and checked out RIP for the very first time on that Wednesday, just because I just wanted to know where everything was, because and so we weren't lost trying to find things on the Thursday before going in there before our set. But it was quite cool. I got a pint in there. I had to pay £1 for a Park Farm cup, and I got a Donington ale, which was quite nice. And I was just wandering around ROP with that.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. While we're here, there were obviously most people who listen to this will know we were on stage in the ROP on the courtyard stage at 3:00 on the Thursday. The poster said podcast at 3:00 on the Wednesday. Now, I don't think there was another podcast.
Yeah, if anyone knows what podcast that was, because me and Adam were like, just says podcast. That's a bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't say any. There's no specifics here. It just says podcast. So secret podcast.
Yeah. So I reckon secret podcast. Yes. Sod the secret band.
Secret
podcast.
A secret band was shit anyway, so I'd rather prefer a secret podcast.
Yeah. I didn't see a secret band. But yeah, what else happened Monday? Not Monday, Wednesday. So after I did that, I came back to the camper. Yeah, and that's when, like you said, Alexander came up, and we just sat chilling and chatting for a bit, and it was really nice. It was like what a Wednesday is supposed to be like at Download.
I want to say also thank you to Alexander for our wonderful Aston Villa baby grows that he brought us that we were really excited about. So cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Also to everyone that gave us baby stuff, but obviously
you had a lot. I was quite surprised. I'm sure you and Vicky must have been.
It was
even
great.
More surprised.
I wasn't expecting anyone to give us baby stuff, and we came home with like loads of stuff that people had made. You know, some people had knitted these things for us, and we got blankets, we got baby grows, we got like tops, we got like all sorts of stuff that people have bought us. So yeah, thank you very much. Vicky was thrilled, and he's going to look cute in some of those things. So it was great. We got some Download themed stuff as well, which is pretty cool. So definitely get some pictures of him in the Download stuff when he's big enough to fit into him.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. You bastards making me look bad. I haven't given anything yet.
No, but thank you. Like, you guys really are literally the best.
Yeah, I agree. We'll talk about that as well when we get to
it. Yeah.
The meetup that we did, because that was incredible.
Yeah,
this
it was
year.
great. It was a bit more. It's a bit more rowdy than last year was. So there's a bit of rowdiness going on this year. It was great. It was like fucking hell, everyone's in a bit of a crazy mood tonight, man. Like, people are rowdy. Like, it was great. We'll get to it, but yeah.
Yeah. I think I went up to the doghouse for a little bit on the Wednesday. I don't remember what was on. Was it like something like makeshift kill repeat? It wasn't that. Play, stop, go, fornicate, or I can't remember what the fuck it was. But yeah, I met a couple of people up there who enjoy the podcast. I think one guy, I think his name was Moz. I know it had a Z in it. I know it had 3 letters, and he just grabbed me, and I was like, I don't think he interacts with us in the Discord or anything like that. But we were just chatting for ages with him, and he was like, just the questions he was asking, I wasn't expecting. And I was like, you're really interested in me and the podcast and generally everything about us. And I was like, this is really cool. Thank you for asking me these questions. And I was chatting to him, and I was asking him questions as well. I don't remember what any of them were now at the moment, but like, it was just, really cool. I got to understand the life of Simon a little bit over the weekend. Right, people were recognising me a little bit more than
that's good, man. Done. You're out there now.
Except that knob on the Wednesday morning. No, he wouldn't. I wouldn't put that in. Except that one guy. Actually, no. Thinking about it, there was more than one guy. I was your personal photographer for a lot of the weekend.
You were, yeah. No, but so like, so's Chids. I'm Chids' photographer when I'm with him, because people come up to him and obviously don't know me. Yeah. So like, I take photos for him as well. Like, we're all everyone's photographers, I think, when we're there, because it's like, can you grab a picture? Whoever's closest, you know what I mean? I want to grab a picture. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I was messing around. So there was a guy in the queue when we went to get our wristbands, and he was talking to Simon. And he said, "Oh, can I get a picture?" And I think I offered, and I was like, "Do you want me to get it?" All right, don't worry about getting me in it. I'm all right. It's fine. Don't worry. I don't want to be in it, sort of thing. Like I said, I was playing that up a little bit just for humor. You know, I didn't mind. I'm not expecting to be recognised by anyone and everyone, or anywhere near. I mean, you have thousands of people watch your videos. We don't have thousands of views on this. So
we do. You're talking about, man, we're huge.
I mean, we did hit 30,000 views at all-time downloads just before Download Festival this year, which is great for a podcast. It's amazing.
That's amazing.
Podcasts aren't going to get the same numbers that YouTube do.
No,
but we are doing fantastic. Oh, that sounds really big-headed now.
No, we are doing fantastic. I don't see anything wrong with a little bit of a humble brag, as they say. Humble brag's okay. Don't take it too far, but that's decent. They're decent numbers.
Yeah.
So
for a podcast, we are doing ridiculously good.
Good.
So on this note, thank you all so much. Everybody and anybody who is listening to this or listened to any episodes in the past, even if you've just come along for these review episodes and preview episodes, thank you all so much. We love you all.
And also, stick around. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. If you're here just for these download ones, don't go. We don't just do download shit. We've got trees to come. We've got Bloodstock to come. We've got all the other episodes that we do in the off-season we talk history, movies, loads of shit. Stick around. It's only going to get better. And then build up to next year's download, and you're in.
Do you know what I was going to say actually a minute ago when we were talking about people watching the vlogs and the people who've got the blues already, want to just watch them again and sit and binge them. I think I've got a little bit more of the blues than I normally would,
really?
but they're not that bad. I wouldn't normally get the blues because we do this all year round. That's what I was going to say. Like we don't get as much of the blues because we still talk about it all year round. I
haven't got the download blues since we've been doing this podcast.
Really?
I don't get download blues anymore. I used to get download blues really bad for my first couple of downloads, like really bad. Like I was almost depressed. But since we've been doing this and all the stuff on YouTube as well, because we review it, we talk about it, we go into so much detail. I haven't had, for the last 3 years, no download blues at all.
No way.
Yep.
That's crazy. So I think I actually get more download blues now than I did in the past.
What?
I don't think I ever did. Like once we got back from download, I had such a good time with friends. But I suppose it's such a small town that I live in. Well, it's not that small town. But I knew we'll all be out like in the pub and everything, drinking together. And I think generally I live every day. If today was my last day, would you? What? Oh, I can't remember the lyrics now. Damn it! That was going to be so good. No, I live life day by day more often. So like once I'm back from download, I don't dwell on the past at all. I don't think about it as much. I'm like, we got another day. It's cool.
Yeah, okay.
Not
I like
download,
that.
but it's still another day.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. But I
think
no blues for me. No blues for me at all. So I'm surprised that you've got more now than you did before, which is pretty insane considering we talk about it so probably because we talk about it so much. You're so reminded of it constantly, so you're like, "Oh, I'm not a download." Like,
and now I kind of wish I did more over the weekend. I can be busy all weekend, and I'll come back and I'll still wish I did more. Whereas, as you know, beforehand, I didn't care about what I did at download.
No, that's true. That's true. There's something else is driving you now. I like that. No, I do that though. I come back and I'm like, "Oh man, I wish I saw them. I wish I had time to go here. I wish I had time to see these people." But you know what it's like at download, man. It's like you can only get what you can get done in those. And 5 days sounds like a lot to some people, but believe me, it's tough to see all of download in 5 days because you want to spend time with your friends. You want to see some bands, so there's other bands you want to see. You want to go to all these different places. You want to hang around in the. Then your group splits into like 3, where these people are going there, those people are going there. So yeah, you kind of have to almost be a lone ranger to be able to see download by yourself. You'll probably find that the people that are in Camp Lona probably see the most of download more than people that go in big groups of mates, because you tend to do whatever the sort of you tend to become a sheep at download and you just follow people because you're in a big group of people. But if you were by yourself, that's not necessarily what you would do. So I know I would definitely be doing very different stuff if I went to download by myself compared to going with my friends. I would be probably walking around the whole site every day.
So. I had exactly the same thought, when we were talking about it was the Alt Pulse project, and the guy's name was Rob.
Rob. Rob.
Sure
Rob. Yeah. Oh, I know who you're talking about now. I called him Fear Factory Hat Rob.
Fear Factory hat roll.
He's great though. No, they were great fun.
And like I said, they were everywhere. And I thought, like, we probably stayed in the camp more than we ever have together, because of the rain, I would imagine. And I thought, like, I wonder how many people was in his group. You know, if it's just one or two of you, you won't just sit around at camp. You know, even if it's raining, you'll be like, right, let's get up and do something. Yeah. Whereas when it's a big group like we've got, it's easy to sit at camp and go, well, two people might go off and do something, and like, oh, there's still 4 people sat here. I'm going to sit here with them for a little bit. Yeah. Until the rain dies off a bit more. And
ours was a much smaller group this year than normal. Normally our group has probably had another 10 on at least. And ours was a very tight knit group this year. Actually, I feel like I've spent more time with you than at the last 2 downloads this year, because we actually spent time together in the campsite. I saw more of you this year than I have for the last 2, definitely. Yeah. Because like you said, they're better weather years, so everyone's walking about more. Where because we spent a lot of time at camp, we spent a lot of time together because we weren't doing anything. We were just sitting at camp. So.
And I think you said to me at one point over the weekend as well, hasn't it flown by? I think it was Saturday night, and he's like, this is a really fast download.
So quick. This one went... Yeah. I felt like last year felt like 5 days. Like, I was literally like, this feels like 5 days. This download for me absolutely flew. I closed my eyes, I opened my eyes, and it was Saturday. And I was like, where the fuck has this time gone? Like, it was one of the quickest downloads for me.
But I think,
ever.
And me too. And I have a theory for that. I could be completely wrong. But most of our days were half and half. Even the arena days, we weren't going into the arena till probably 2-3 o'clock. So we'd spend 5-6 hours in the camp in the morning, 5-6-7 hours in the arena at night. So if you're going into the arena all day, it makes it a long day, and it feels like a long day. Okay. But because we were splitting it up, then I think that's possibly why it flew by so much. But
could be, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it did just fly by.
It did, yeah. It went far, far too quickly. On the Sunday, I was like, oh man, I'm so looking forward. And I probably haven't done that in a long time, actually. Okay, I didn't get the blues. But on the Sunday, I thought to myself, I can't wait for download next year. And download wasn't even finished. And that's the first time I've done that in a long time. So I was literally like, I can't wait for download next year. Before Limp Bizkit came on, I can't wait for download next year. Because I was like, it's coming to an end. I want another 5 days of this. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of cool things in between. Hopefully, like we just said, we're going to be going every 2 weeks an episode. But hopefully we've got some more. We were obviously invited to the press event last year, but hopefully we'll be invited to more, and we'll have more to tell you about the runnings of download.
Yeah. Not that we can give any inside information away, but we can give some outside information. We'll never, we'll never open the window completely, because we wouldn't do that to people within the team. But we might give you a little glimpse inside. Yeah, that'll be it.
Awesome. But going back to you said about being a lone ranger. I think so. I've been saying for a long time, I want to be in general camping. We were actually offered. RIP this year. Me and Simon, we turned it down because we wanted to be in general.
See? Because we're the shit. That's why, man. I ain't staying in RIP with those fakers who can't do a festival properly.
I think I'm ready for RIP now. Carry on. Keep going.
I'm not saying... I'm not... No. None of that RIP stuff, man. Bunch of fakers. Don't have to do a festival properly. I'm joking.
I think,
I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Obviously, I'm joking, but I get it. I get that. But I honestly think I've been living in the past a little bit. I've been like, I want to be in general. I mean, well, maybe not living. I want to be in general because that's where my friends are. But I also want to be in general because that's where the party is. But the party's not in general anymore. The party's in the village. True. And you can still go to the party from RIP. That's very true.
I sort of realised that over the weekend. And I think I would have had a better weekend if I was in RIP. It would have been closer to the arena. Would have had it depends. I mean, it depends what you get, but you could get.
So what we're saying, if we get offered RIP again, we're taking it. Yeah.
I want to. Okay. Obviously, depends on what our friends are doing and everything.
Oh, fuck them!
I don't want to leave them.
Fuck them. Yeah, let's just do it. They can fend for themselves.
Okay.
They're all adults. They're fine.
Yeah. Cool. I'm fine with that. But yeah, no, I think I am ready for RIP. At some point over the weekend, one of my friends, Kelly, actually, she said, like, because there's 3 of us, we're all going to be 40 in 2 years' time. It will be the year of our 40th birthday. And she was like, how about we all sort of save up and do RIP for your 40th? And at the time, I was like, nah. I walked through RIP on the Wednesday. It looked boring as shit. But over the weekend, my mind has changed.
There you go.
So I think she was a little bit offended by me turning her idea down, and I don't blame her. Like, I just shot it down completely. I was like, no, I don't want to. Not thinking about anybody else's opinions or feelings. I was like, nah.
But now you're
That's
you're a changed man now. That's it. You're a changed man.
Well, they say once you go RIP, you don't go back. Yeah. And we spent a little bit of time in RIP. We didn't stay overnight there, but maybe it was enough to infect
You've looked
us.
into the sky, and that beam of light has hit you, and you've got your hand in front of your face, and then you move your hand away and just see RIP in the clouds.
RIP.
Like, I've seen the light, guys. I'm going to have to go to RIP from now on.
Yeah, but I mean, with the mud and everything, like I said, I think it would have just made the weekend a bit easier. Partly my fault. We said about this before recording. I didn't take wellies this year. I'm a knob. I didn't take wellies. 2, I didn't buy any wellies either. My wellies were claimed by spiders, and I could have either cleaned them out or bought some new wellies. I thought it's not going to be that bad. It can't get that bad. Mud. I'll just take my walking boots. It'll be fine. And they were not fine.
They were not fine.
They were not fine.
No.
So maybe that's one thing that made me a little bit more miserable. But that was my own fault. I didn't take a coat either. I only had my big fleecy jacket, which gets heavy when it's wet.
To be fair, like I said to you, I made a absolute rookie mistake on the Saturday. I wore my walking boots, didn't wear my wellies. I had all this stuff at the thing. Wore my shorts, not my trousers, and then wore my long sleeve shirt and no jacket. And I give people download advice. And I completely ignored my own advice and then literally fucked myself up so bad that I had to throw my walking boots away because there is no way of them coming back from how fucked they were.
Mine are in the bin as well.
Yeah, mine had to go. And then on the Sunday, when weather wasn't that bad, I had wellies, jeans, jacket, waterproof, all of it, and the fucking weather was half decent.
It was nice on the Sunday.
Sunday and Wednesday were nice. It was just the days, the sandwiched in between, that weren't great. But and again, for people being like, "Oh my god, this download was so bad," this download doesn't even rank anywhere near the top of bad downloads for weather. Like, it was a bit muddy, but people were really over exaggerating how bad the weather was. It rained a little bit, and there was some mud. It wasn't that bad. Like, people really get like upset about weather. And I have said to people before, when you go to download regularly, you've just really got to try your hardest to not let the weather affect you. If it gets muddy, just let it be muddy. There's nothing you can do about it. Just enjoy yourself. So I still feel like people get really sort of annoyed. It can ruin a festival for people. I understand in some ways it can if your tent leaks or whatever. But I feel like sometimes a wet download is more fun than a not wet download. I don't know. I like the rain, so I don't mind.
I said in the Discord as well. Going back a little bit. At least that's one thing I can't say is I don't give people the advice. I don't do the videos telling people what to do and what not to do. So I don't feel as much of an asshole.
What's that line from
as you should?
What's that line from Genesis? Jesus, he knows me. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, so I'll do what I want. Just do what I say. Don't look at what I'm doing. Right? I'll give you good advice. I might not follow my own advice, but the advice I'm giving you is good. I promise. If I don't follow it, then I'm the idiot, not you lot.
Yeah. But yeah, what was I going to go to before that? But I wanted to go back. What did I just start saying?
I know, we've already gone off on like 20 different tangents. I don't know.
Never mind. Just imagine something. Pause it and just imagine me talking about something. I'm going to fill this a little bit.
I got a bit of Ribena action today. It's classic.
Have you? Oh, very nice. I've got me apple juice.
Of course. When I went into the cupboard, I thought I'd get a bit of orange squash, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Ribena in there." I'm definitely having a bit of that. Love a bit of Ribena. Do you know what, Vicky? Sorry, this is nothing to do with download, but this has just reminded me. I'm sure a lot of you remember this.
Let's keep it in.
Vicky has no idea what Tizer was.
Yeah, I remember that. It was like a red can, wasn't it? Red with a bit of yellow.
I remember it being blue or red, but with blue and red on the can, and a guy like that, and he had loads of stuff coming out of, like bubbles coming out of his hair. But yeah, like Tizer, it was like a fizzy, Ribena-y kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was really interesting. There's only 6 years between me and Vicky, and she has no fucking idea what Tizer was. It doesn't exist anymore.
There seems to be a lot of things she has no fucking idea what they were.
That's true, actually. Maybe she's just head in the clouds type rather than she definitely is. So that makes more sense. Also, actually, quickly, this just fuck this. We don't even talk about that. I want to talk about fizzy drinks. My brother, I think this was on the way to download or just before. He bought the Fanta Lilt. So Fanta have redone Lilt, and everyone was complaining that when they brought Lilt back out, it didn't taste like old Lilt. I'm telling you right now, the Fanta Lilt tastes like Lilt. It's amazing. So if you really like Lilt, go into the shops. The 300, what are they 500? What litre are they?
Usually
bottles?
500.
500. So yeah, I think they're doing the 500s. There is a Fanta Lilt. It's like kind of purple colour. The packaging, not the drink.
Yeah.
The drink looks like Lilt, but it is banging. So if you like Lilt and you miss it, go and get the Fanta one because it's so good. So when he let me taste that, I was like, oh my god, that actually just like core memory unlocked kind of deal. I was like, wow, that's insane. It actually tastes like Lilt.
Awesome. Well, it's just like an intermission, isn't it? But something that happened in the Discord last year was we were all telling everybody what our go-to. I think it was specifically Tesco meal deals was, and I'll never forget that. Was amazing. Like it was just so active, and everybody was in there talking. And my meal deal has changed. I think I can't remember what it was at the time, but it changed a few times over the last year. I discovered you could get the little malt loaf things as part of the snack.
Oh, the Sorines.
It was amazing.
Yeah, they're good.
But I don't get that anymore. I normally get either a coffee, and I discovered yesterday you can get a little tub of mango. Because like the coffee I want to get, I normally get a flat white. It's £3.35 or £3.40 for a meal deal, and I'm like, well, I might as well spend 5p and get the extra bits if I'm going to buy this coffee because that's usually all I want. So I don't normally want the sandwich. And so I'm going to be eating tea in a couple of hours anyway. So I discovered they do mango, and that's one of the only fruits that I'm not allergic to, and it's nice. It's nice in this heat
mango's
as well.
Nice. Yeah, mango's
so coffee
banging.
or the cold coffee you can get from Tesco because that's amazing.
That's good.
Yeah,
that
mango
stuff,
and a chocolate bar. Usually a Whisper Gold. But tell us in the Discord. We want to hear all of your go-to meal deals as well.
Go-to meal deals.
I took a picture and I was meaning to post it in there, but I just keep forgetting. so if I say it on here. I don't have to post it now. Tell us your meal deals. Anyway, Wednesday. Are we still talking about Wednesday?
Let's move on from Wednesday. Anyway, Wednesday was good. The weather was good, and it was nice.
I did walk up past the bikers bar, the Ace of Spades bikers bar. We were on our way to the doghouse, and I think people were queuing for the silent disco that was in there, and the queue was massive. It was so big. Did you go into silent disco at all?
I didn't. I had a chance to, but I didn't take it. But people love a silent disco, dude. As like I said before, at Trees, they have to do half the site as a silent disco because they wouldn't be able to fit everyone in a tent. I think that's what Download need to do. I know it was kind of wet, so you can't really do it. But on a dry year, you just have like a section where you have loads of people because that tent was quite small actually.
Yeah. So I didn't.
But people love silent discos.
I don't particularly like silent discos, so I didn't go into it. I can't remember what we were going to watch at the doghouse on the Wednesday. We were just going up there because it was the first night and we were partying. The sound was awful in the doghouse on the first night. It was really bad.
So bad. It was bad the whole time, even for the music. It was bad. I don't know what they were doing in there, but the sound was awful.
Like I think I only went in there the Wednesday and the Saturday, but like on the Wednesday, it sounded as if say you had a band playing on stage. It was like they had only like the amps of the band on. They didn't actually have it going through a PA or any other speakers. It was just like so hollow and quiet and very localized to the stage. You had to get really close to hear it. It sounded weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know what was going on with the sound. It was definitely much better last year with the sound in there. Even for the club nights, I was like, doesn't sound great. Where last year we were really far away, but the vibe was great.
I think that was most of what we did on the Wednesday.
Not much, really.
More than we did last year on the Wednesday, probably. No, we did quite a bit.
Yeah. True. We did a fair bit.
It was good. It was a good Wednesday this year. It was a very, very good Thursday this year. We had a really good time on the Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday was incredible.
Where to start? I think I got up quite early, even though I had a late night. I generally tend to get up really early. I usually like 7. I'm like a chids, except I don't go back to my car and eat pickles and all that shit. But I think last year I woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning on the Thursday. So I just had to wander around. I just walk around the whole like District X and But so Thursday, woke up quite early, but we just sat around in the camp until we had to go to do our live show, which was cool. Yeah,
well, I think Thursday I felt fantastic because I restrained myself on Wednesday massively because it's like you get there on the Wednesday and you're all pumped up, you're hopped up. Adrenaline's running through you and you just want to get absolutely mashed. I only had about 4 or 5 beers and some shots that Mr. P brought us on the Wednesday. And I was in bed by what? I want to say 11:30.
I think
Vicky,
you said 10:30 when we were there. I think you said even a bit earlier than that.
Yeah, tucked up, asleep. I probably got a good 9 hours sleep, I would say.
Nice.
on Wednesday night and woke up on Wednesday. I got 8 hours sleep every night this download. Literally every night. Yeah. I was very responsible, probably because I felt like I didn't want to leave Vicky too much. Obviously, you don't want to leave your pregnant wife. If she wasn't pregnant, we both agreed we would have gone a bit more mental and actually raged a bit more like we normally do. But the latest I stayed out the whole time was like 12:30, I think. Like, that's it. So I was such a nerd and so probably quite boring this download. But I enjoyed my days. Yeah. But I didn't do much in the evenings. But that's just how it was for me this year. So Thursday morning, I thought, no, Wednesday, I thought, no, we've got a show tomorrow. I can't do things very well hungover. Excuse me. I know other people can. It's not how my brain functions. If I'm going to have a show, singing or speaking, I need to have my brain firing on all cylinders. So I would never, ever get drunk the night before a show. Unless I had to, I'd probably be able to do it, but probably not to be as good as I possibly could. So, so I woke up Thursday. I was like, yes. And I was thinking to myself, how is Adam feeling? Because I know he had a bit to drink yesterday, but you look fine.
Yeah, I don't really generally have hangovers at download. I don't know why. I think it's just because we're out in the open air the whole time. But some of the worst hangovers I've ever had is from when I've been like a club, or maybe not club, like the fun pubs we have, and you go in, you drink a little bit inside and go out for a cigarette, and you're just constantly in and out of the different types of air. And I think that is, well, maybe I drank a little bit too much as well. I don't know. But yeah, sometimes that, I think, I have a theory. Again, I have no proof. I think that makes hangovers worse if you're like constantly in and out.
Yeah, it's probably some other factors as well as the alcohol as well. Smoking. Whenever I was smoking, the next day I felt like absolute dog shit. If I was binge drinking and smoking, now with the not smoking and occasionally vaping, I do feel so much better than when I was on the rollies. I don't know. I feel like the nicotine, it might not be other people, but it did really affect me. My hangovers were always way worse when I was smoking the night before. Yeah. So I'm sure that might affect some people, but it affected me bad.
But so like I said, I felt quite good on the Thursday still. But we did have this conversation while we were there, didn't we? Because you said you weren't going to go crazy. You were going to have a quiet night. And And I remember thinking, like, oh crap, should I be doing the same? Like you've obviously got a bit more experience with that kind of thing than me, and I generally thought I can do whatever the hell I want tonight. But we were different in that way. Like I didn't care what I did the night before, but I would not have touched any beer before going on stage. Whereas you took it easy, but had one or two before going on.
Yeah. See, I like that because that loosens me up then.
Yeah.
Because I'm not drunk. It just gives me a little bit of lubrication for the brain where it opens up little avenues that weren't opened before. So yeah, I do like a couple of beers before going on stage. Yeah. So and that kind of makes me a bit giddy. I get a bit like, oh, all right. Cool. When you're on the cusp of being like had a few drinks to getting pissed, that little sweet spot in between.
Yeah.
You can keep yourself there always where the adrenaline's running through you and you feel real good and you just want to chat to everyone and have a great time.
Yeah,
that's where I was literally before we were going on stage.
Nice.
So I was having so much fun up there. I didn't want to get off the stage. I could have stayed up there for another hour.
Yeah, so maybe I should try that as well sometime. Like in my mind, I was thinking if I fuck up and I've had a couple of beers, it'll be easy to blame it on the beers, or maybe it will be because of the beers. If I'm stone cold sober and I fuck up, it's because of me. But if I do well, it's also because of me. You know, and so that was my thinking about it. So. But I do know what you mean. I feel like I think a lot better after like 2 or 3 beers. Like sometimes when I'm at home, I'll have some and I see something online and I have these amazing ideas and thoughts. I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to message this person. I have some really amazing words of advice for this that I wouldn't have thought about if I was sober. But things like that make me think, well, maybe they weren't actually good words of advice or whatever I was thinking. Maybe it was just the beer. So I thought, I need to be sober. My old podcast, it was themed around drinking. It was called Men Podcasting Badly. A play on words of men behaving badly. They were drinking beer all the time. The whole thing was meant to be, we have some beers and we talk about games. But I never drank a single beer while doing it. Like the idea was there. I wanted to, but when it actually came to it, I was like, no, I have to be sober. This has to be all me, not 80% me, 20% beer. Do you know
when you were talking about drinking and having great ideas? You haven't watched Seinfeld, have you? Well, there's this really great episode that is like perfect too. It's not about drinking, but like Jerry Seinfeld wakes up in the middle of the night and he writes this joke down and he smiles as to say, oh, I've just come up with the best joke ever. And then he goes back to sleep, wakes up in the morning and spends the whole episode trying to decipher what he's written because he's like, this is going to be the best joke ever. And he reads it back and it's fucking rubbish. So I'm thinking like, that's when you don't want to, like, if you put that comparable to because a great episode, you think, oh, he's going to have this amazing joke and it's just shit. It's rubbish. So I was just thinking like, you could write down all of your like almost drunk thoughts. I'm not sure how many of them would come back as actually being good, or you just thinking they're really good, but then looking at them and going, I don't even know what the hell I was thinking while I was writing this down.
Well, I have got some on my phone, so between now and next episode, maybe a Patreon special, Adam's Inner Thoughts.
Oh my God!
I will read out my notes on my phone. We'll work out which ones were drunk and which ones weren't, and we'll decide together whether they were good ideas.
Okay, I like this. There you go. Join the Patreon for this exclusive.
Yeah.
A look into Adam's mind.
Awesome. So like I was saying, we were completely different, and I wasn't sure. I was looking up to you, going, "What shall I do? Should I drink? Should I not drink?" But it turned out it was your personal feelings on it, not general what you should do and shouldn't do.
No, it's just,
whether you should drink the night before. Also going off a little bit as well. I think I used to be good at temping bowling. I used to bowl every Saturday morning in a youth bowling club. I think I must have been hungover one day, and I bowled really well. And so in my mind, I was like, I bowl better when I'm hungover. So I'd go out. I probably would have gone out and got wasted every Friday anyway. I was under 18 at this point. But it was more of an excuse to go out and get wasted every Friday because I'm going to bowl better tomorrow if I'm hungover. I don't think it quite worked like that. It was a confirmation bias there. I didn't bowl better generally, but that was in my mind at the time.
I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, Thursday. So yeah, we woke up. We went over to RIP. It was the second time I've been in RIP, but I mean that was only briefly. So it was basically our first adventure, even slightly into RIP.
Oh, I'd never been into RIP before, and I walked in and I was like, "Are you fucking serious? They got all this shit in here. This is insane."
Oh yeah, because we were walking around. We had to go and get the wristband for Jacobs first, didn't we? And we got escorted through by a security guard. He's like, "I'll show you the way. Follow me."
I was like, "This is posh, isn't it? You fuckers!
Yeah.
Is this what you've been doing in here the whole time?" Jesus Christ!
I completely forgot about this as well because I remember saying at the time we've said a few times on the show, like Download doesn't really have much of a personality, and he's getting more and more things to do. Sometimes it's just a bit sort of lots of chaos going on. It's not any themed or anything like that. But RIP is quite nice, and they have got little lights illuminating trees and things like that. That's exactly the kind of thing we've been talking about that it needs.
Yeah, there's a lot of personality in RIP. Yeah. I feel like if they took the personality in RIP and sort of extended that into the main, because they always say, don't you, like, you know, people bang on about how much Hellfest has an identity and has all this artwork and loads of other cool stuff surrounding it, and that's what Download are trying to do with District X and things like that. But you really did feel it, didn't you, when you walked into RIP? I was like, there is so much just stuff in here, and like stuff just everywhere. It feels like a completely different place to the main camping bit of Download.
Crazy.
Like, yeah.
We're gonna go back to the slums in a minute after our set. Go and slosh in all of this mud. You haven't got muddy paths like we have. That's what we want. We want to be diving into it. Yeah, it was very nice. It was very nice, and we were sat. We were told we needed to be there 2 hours before our set. We got there pretty much dead on 2 hours before our set. Waited around for about an hour. Nobody coming to meet us. We're like, what are we going to be doing?
Then we did get escorted, but we sat down. We had a nice chat. We met some people in there. It was nice. It was just good because we had a little sort of mooch around, didn't we? Really?
Yeah, and I wouldn't have minded a bit more of a mooch around, like just checking out the whole of RIP, just like seeing everything there is to see. But maybe next year, maybe you'll vlog it more in there.
Yeah, I guess we were just.
I'm here now.
We were concentrating, aren't we, on other stuff? We had a show to do, and we were just like, "Oh, this is nice," but I don't really have time for this right now because we're about to do something. So that's kind of what it was like. But it was nice to see it and to be in there finally.
Yeah. And you were like, we were trying to work out who we needed to see, where we needed to be, and time was ticking because you knew you had to get Vicky in at some point. So kind of waiting to see that, and then at one point you was like, I gotta go and make sure she is able to get in, and then within 2 or 3 minutes we were seen to. So it's like,
yeah, exactly, there you go.
Yeah, typical.
I was just going to say, there is a trick to getting into RIP. So if there's bands that you want to see in RIP and you haven't got an RIP ticket ticket holders get a +1 for one of the days excuse me, at Download. So if you've got a friend that's camping in RIP and you're not camping in RIP, they get a free +1 for one day. So they will be able to take you in and you'll get a wristband for that day for free, I believe.
Just about to say, is that for free? Because you had to pay 55 quid for Vicky to get in.
Yeah, that's because of something else, I think. So it's either £55 or it's free. But there is a possibility of you getting someone into RIP if they're not in RIP just for the day for £55 or less.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Well,
I had to pay for Vicky to come in, but it was worth it.
Definitely. And but I mean, we found out afterwards, this wasn't our influence. If anybody from the team is listening, but yeah, we found out after that we had some fans that just walked in, didn't pay, they just walked straight past security and came and watched us. I'm not going to name names. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But yes, so shall we? I think we've talked around it enough. Shall we get to what people were expecting to hear at this point? Our live show.
Yes.
It went fucking well, didn't it? It went really.
Yeah,
really
it was
well.
great. Yeah, it was really good. I knew it would be good. I knew it would be funny. Hopefully, people would find it funny because we didn't just want to sit there and talk to each other and not make anyone else laugh because anyone can do that. So we tried to be a little bit funny. We tried to do some cool things, which I think actually come off.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of ad lib stuff because we ran out of material way too quickly. So we just ad libbed the rest, which made it even better because I think that we're actually quite good at going off on tangents and making things up as we go along. So it worked. But I think the thing that surprised me the most was when we walked out, I sort of was looking down just to see where everything was. If there was any leads I was going to trip over or whatever. And then I got to the microphone and then put my head up and I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's insane. There's like, I was expecting people to come, but I wasn't expecting that many people to be there. You know, obviously there would have been people that were just passing or people that were just interested. But there were a lot of people, you know, a lot of familiar faces I saw in the crowd.
Yeah.
A lot of people that we've met before and stuff. So it was cool to see some people out there that I was like, wow. And people that came up to us, me across the whole weekend afterwards and said how much they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So that was the most bit for me. I was like, whoa. Like looking at you, like there is a fucking lot of people here, man.
Yeah,
shit.
there was.
We're gonna have to do a show now.
Yeah, I don't think it quite clicked for me until after I spent a lot of time looking at the floor. Spent a lot of time looking at my notes that were on the floor that had it wasn't tiny writing, but it was small writing.
We're gonna rectify that. If we ever do a live show again, we'll rectify that for you. We need to get you like one of those music stands.
Yeah. No, I've already started having ideas of what we'll do if we're invited back. Because we can
iPads.
Obviously we'll talk about it, and I'm not saying no. We're doing what I say. That's what that sounded like. Then sorry.
This is what we're doing.
But
shut up.
I just wanted to go off and say something just off of what you said a minute ago. It's not really going off of it now because we've gone past it. But I don't want to skip this. But yes, it went well. We didn't actually speak to the person who booked us that day. We didn't get to speak to her on the Thursday, but she did actually catch up with me on the Friday. I saw her. Well, she saw me and Kelly in the arena, and she ran over to me, and I was like, "Holy shit! Well, you're running to me! Like, what's going on here?" So, like, she stopped and spoke to me and said, "Oh, so how do you think it went? How was it?" And I said how well it went, how well I thought it went. You know, it was amazing to be up there. So many people. And then she stopped and said, yeah, I didn't actually get to see that much of it, but she was like, my boss was there. Her boss, the person who booked us, her boss was there. He said he really enjoyed it and that we had more of a crowd than most of the bands that were on that day. So
insane.
So like similar to what you were saying earlier, my head was in the clouds after that. I was like, that is insane to hear. You know, we thought we were going to be good. We thought we were going to be funny. We thought we were going to be, you know, the interactive bit was going to go well. But to hear it from the person who booked us and her boss, like Kelly was talking to me, I wasn't taking in what she was saying. We were stopped. We were outside the tent for Busted, and they were playing Hanson at the time. Was it Mbop? And it was at the end of the song, Mbop. And I was like, was that Mbop? Were they just playing Mbop? Because my head was just up here thinking about the live set. So yeah, I really was on cloud nine after that. It was so good.
Yeah, it was great. It was good as well. Like, you know, if we do one again, there'll be things that we would do slightly differently. But for two people who, you know, had some notes and do stuff, I thought it was great. I thought hopefully people really enjoyed it. I got some good feedback from everyone to say that that they did, which is fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was good fun. It was quite interactive as well. Yeah. A lot of people shouting stuff back at us. A lot of people participating in our Snickers circle pit.
Snickers pit.
Snickers pit. Big up to Dan, to Jacobs, because he really helped us out. And he literally couldn't get the Snickers quick enough out of that bag. No. I just remember that. And I'm like, go on.
Yeah. Then he started throwing them. And they started throwing them back at us.
Throwing them. Yeah, and we had to tell Dan to stop because he threw one and it went miles. And then I was like, no, Dan, no, underarm. Don't throw it overarm. And then Adam threw one off stage and hit a lady in the head, which is great.
In the side of the head, which means that she wasn't looking at the stage, so...
She wasn't looking at the stage. She was chatting to her mate, and then you pelted her with a Snickers bar.
Well, just teach you to not look at the stage while people are on it. Then I couldn't believe I came up with that up my ass at the time. It's like,
Yeah, it really was 2006 because people were literally getting pelted in the head with Snickers bars. And then I think Adam made the bad mistake of saying, "Don't throw them at us." And then what did that entail? People throwing stuff at us.
Oh, yeah, that happened before. Like, so if you weren't there and you've seen the video, that was a bit. We had a couple get chucked back at us. I think one of them might have been Jaggy Sean. I think in the Discord. But yeah, you were like, "Holy shit, we didn't think of this."
We didn't think.
That's the one I threw back out and hit the woman in the side of the head. It's like, fuck it. But yeah, that went so well.
I was saying to someone the other day on Instagram, saying about how good the show was and, all the Snickers. And I was like, I didn't even get one. I didn't keep a Snickers. Like, afterwards, I was like, I should have kept a Snickers or at least eaten a Snickers. I was actually quite hungry. And we threw out 200 Snickers and I didn't even get one of them.
And
there was some went my side of the stage.
Yeah.
And there was a couple on the stage as we walked off. And I didn't think about grabbing them.
Oh.
So there was the two. So two of the techs probably got a free Snickers because I didn't pick them up.
Yeah. Well, on that, actually, that's a good segue. Maybe the sound guys got them, who were nice, friendly guys.
They were very nice chaps.
But also, about 15 minutes before we were supposed to go on, these other two guys turned up, and I think they were just I don't know exactly what they were. They were some kind of hospitality. They basically said to me, like, "We're here to make sure you guys are having a good time. You got everything you need." And that was quite nice of them, and I think they do that for a few festivals. And after we got off the stage, it was starting to get a bit cold. I only had a t-shirt on, and I really wanted a cigarette. Like, the adrenaline was going. So I went in. I was inside the backstage area, which we'll get to because that was really cool. Trying to roll a cigarette, and I couldn't do it. I was like a pneumatic drill. I was shaking, and Jacob's put his jacket over
Oh my
me.
God, yeah, I've never seen that before.
But yeah, so I stood outside to have the cigarette, and the two guys were stood there, and immediately they were like, "Oh, sorry," and then walked around the corner. And I was like, I'm not that kind of guy, I can understand when you're in that position, you do give the artists whatever space they need, that sort of thing. But for them to do that to me, it was just mind blowing. I was like, you don't need to go. They were like, "We'll give you space, or or we can stick around and have a chat if you want." I was like, "Yeah, don't leave on my part. Have a chat. I'm happy to have a chat with you." But yeah, it was just mind blowing how we were treated, like specifically by those two guys at that point, actual artists.
Oh, we were very, very well taken care of at Download. Definitely do. We actually said when we were there, we were sitting in the backs. But you say backstage area, and people think they're really cool. I mean, backstage areas are cool, but they're basically just glorified waiting rooms. I said this when we were there. All it is a waiting room, really, with some beer. Which is still pretty cool, but it's just a waiting room. You might as well be at the doctor's. Some are nicer than others, but do you get what I mean? But one thing I did want to mention was our hospitality was much better than In Search of Sun's hospitality in 2016.
Yeah.
And we weren't even a band playing the proper fucking festival. And if you've listened to that episode, very good friends of ours in Search of Sun played Download, and their hospitality was pretty terrible. They were put into a caravan, and they had four ciders and some fruit, two bananas or something. One banana. And we were taken care of, much better than those guys were, and they're actually talented. So
yeah,
it's pretty crazy the treatment that we got compared to them. So
yeah.
So we were discussing that when we were there, weren't we?
Yeah, there were crates of Liquid Death, there were crates of beer. Those two guys I just said about, they were constantly making sure the fridges were full of beer. There were snacks, fruit, chocolate bars, crisps, all sorts. There was little mirrors if we wanted to do makeup and everything. It was just an insane couple of hours. We were in there from about an hour before our set, and we were just pissing about a little bit, I guess.
Fucking around, just fucking around, weren't we?
Yeah, and it was really cool. But yeah, similar to what you were just saying. I didn't really want to say this before we did it. It's something I thought about before we were on, the last few months anyway, because I knew how long we were going to get. But we were given 40 minutes. That's more time than most bands that play Download. We were actually offered more time. She said, "I'll give you 40 minutes. You can have more time if you want. You can have less time if you want." We could have probably easily said, would take an hour. I think this time round we would have struggled to fill that hour, mostly because of my nervousness, and I would have just kept getting lost, so I'd have been relying on you a lot more than I was. But next time round, I'll be fine, and next time we could do an hour.
I don't know. I feel like our time was perfect. Not, short and sweet, I think, is the way to go when it comes to, that's just the way I think about it. But who knows? Who knows what we'll get offered in the future? So fingers crossed. Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, I just had all these thoughts before it was even announced, before like we were on, and I was like, we've got more time than the bands. We can choose what day. Well, we couldn't choose what day. She's like, oh, Wednesday or Thursday. And I was like, we'd prefer Thursday. She's like, done. It's like, fucking hell. We're being treated like kings. And these like bands get like 30 minutes, 25 minutes, some of them. They can play 4 songs. They're coming all this way, bringing all that gear. Oh, we were told we would had parking. We were told there would have been a van to carry our gear. Well, we didn't have gear because we're not a band. But yeah, treated so well. It was so good.
Yeah, it was nice.
And I've been saying in the future we'll try and get into District X. Nah, we're staying in RIP if we have a choice.
Yeah, get treated like that, mate. We are staying in RIP, boy. Well, I'll just say, I won't say what podcast, but I did see a bit of a podcast in the District X area, and it was boring. I'm not going to lie. Probably because they were sitting down and not very engaging. Yeah, which is probably one of the reasons why we wanted to stand up and do it. Yeah, because it felt more like a sort of comedy act than it did a podcast. So
yeah, we were offered a sofa. Like the sound guys before, they probably hadn't really done podcasts before, and so I was chatting to them. They were like, "What do you want? Do you want us to get a sofa from the backstage bit? Do you want anything else? Do you just want 2 microphones? Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, no, a stand." Like we said, it needed to be part performance, part the podcast that everyone knows.
Yeah, exactly.
And a little spoiler to it. Anybody who was there or anybody who's seen it, when Simon said "Scream for Me" download at the beginning, and I'm like, oh, gone off script already. That was scripted. I knew I was going to say that if he did that. So
I didn't know you were going to say that though.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, so that is technically, because I didn't actually know that was going to happen. I knew I wanted to do that because it's something I've always wanted to do. Yeah. So I knew I was going to have to do the Screen for Me download thing. So
yeah, but I wrote into the script that I would say we've gone off script. I thought that was funny. I just wanted to say that. But yeah, it was so cool. I mean, yeah, you started with that. I think I rushed the beginning a little bit because I was a bit nervous. Mm-hmm. We flew through our set in about 25 minutes. We rehearsed it a couple of times beforehand, and it took us about 45 minutes. We went through it in 25. So like you said, we had a bit of an ad-lib going on in there. But
it was good. We talked to the crowd a little bit, got them involved, done the circle pit, built up to that, and everyone was just laughing. I think everyone just generally had a good time, which is great. So I could see that people were smiling. I think there was a few people standing there like, what the fuck is this? But I suppose you're always going to get that when people are like, if they don't listen to the podcast, they're going to be like, who the fuck are these two? So
yeah. But the boss man wasn't stood there like that, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
He's the one that might be able to get us back next year.
So all gravy. But yeah, overall, very good. Loved it. Adam was a little bit nervous to begin with, but then after literally about 5 minutes, eased into his role. And
in my role.
Was just fired, was just firing on all cylinders. So it was great.
And I think I've watched it back, and in my memory after, I thought you carried me a lot more times than you did. You did have to carry me a couple of times, but yeah, it was not as many as I thought. Like, I wasn't as bad as I thought in my head.
No.
So yeah, it was good. No. It was good. It was really good.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. And then what did we do after? I was actually running around RIP, not quite running, and not everywhere in RIP. But a friend of mine, Hannah, she came on the show before. She stayed in Rock Retreat last year, and she was there, and I wanted to catch up with her and say hello. So, like, once we'd finished in the backstage area, I came out, said hello to a few people, and then I was like, right, I'm going to try and catch up with Hannah, go and see where she is. So I walked around everywhere around that bit, and I couldn't see her. So, you know, I missed out on chatting to a few people, I'm afraid. But Hannah, you disappeared too quickly, so I couldn't I couldn't get all the free drinks we were bought at the bar. So thank you if you bought us free drinks at the bar, like we told you to.
I got bought a couple of drinks. So thank you. Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciated as always. It was great. Like after the show, even before the meet up, I spent so long just talking to people. Like I was buzzing. Hopefully, people said that they really enjoyed it. So it was nice just to talk to people. And I talked to so many people after that. Literally, me and Vicky were just enjoyed lapping up talking to you guys, which has become my favourite part of Download now. Like, I don't even really need the bands at Download now because we got you guys. So I just stand and talk to you guys for a whole weekend. Fuck the bands.
Yeah. If you guys come up to a campsite this time in 5 years' time, Simon will be the one that spends most of the weekend at the campsite and sees 4 bands all weekend, and I'll get him to eat his words.
The roles will be reversed.
Yeah, I'll be in the arena all day, every day, even at night. I'll be sleeping somewhere. I need to get here as early as I can in the morning, so I'm gonna just hide here.
Moving on to the meetup, I got to the meetup, and even I was a little bit late, and there were loads of people there, and I was looking around going, I was saying hello to everyone, but the other question I was asking everyone was, I was like, oh, guys, how you doing? Yeah, we were drinking, and I was like, have you seen Adam? And they were like, no. So I'd go into like another group of people, and I'd be like, talking to people, having a great laugh, and then I'd be like, have you guys seen Adam? And they'd be like, no. And I'd be like, I don't know where the fuck this guy is. And then I walked all the way up the Ace of Spades bar to the top where there was a podcast going on. And then I walked around, I walked outside of it. I was like, I don't know. Where is he? He would never, ever miss this meetup. And then about 10 minutes later, standing in there, you walked in up to me and went, where have you been? I'm like, we've been in here. You're like, we've been outside for the last half an hour.
In the rain as well. Fucking assholes. Not you guys, because there were a few people with me outside. I was with the assholes. You weren't the assholes. Like, they were like, oh, we'll have it around here. And this is where I put the pointer thing. So, we won't hide inside because people might not see us if we're outside. But no, apparently everyone went inside without even seeing us. So, just out there in the rain for a bit. Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
We were pretty much on time, maybe a couple of minutes late. I went to the Dippy Donuts meetup for like an hour beforehand.
Oh, there you go.
And that was cool. But I was going to say the best thing about them is the drinks they bring. That's not the best thing about them. But that's a very entertaining thing about the Dippy Donuts is the drinks. But I'd already got cold sores on my lips by that point. And I was like, I can't drink any of your stuff.
I can't drink any of these.
Because I don't want to be sharing bottles with anybody and like giving you fucking cold sores.
Yeah.
Which sucked. Chid's had his...
you could have skied it.
We did at one point.
You were skying drinks in my video.
Yeah. There was somebody's actually sent me a message saying he was the one pouring it.
Ash. It was Ash. Ash was feeding you drinks, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I do need to get back to him at some point, actually. I will probably by the time this goes out. So I'm sure, hopefully I've got back to you, Ash, before this goes out. If not, wait a couple more days.
And then he will. But yeah, it was great. Like I said, it was a bit more... It seemed a bit more rowdy this time. Like last time was great, I think, because like no one had met each other before, and this time seemed like there were people that obviously we know quite well now, part of the Dear Download community. So it kind of seemed a bit more familiar because I was like, yes, dude, and I was like it was so good to see so many people. But I think because there was a bit more familiarity, even though there's people there that we hadn't met before, it sort of seemed a bit more like matey. So everyone was just getting absolutely hammered and getting like, just getting really like quite rowdy. It was great fun. It was great. Like Chids was getting things thrown at him. Someone had given him a bottle of, I don't know what the fuck that thing was, tequila or whatever. And he was just drinking that, being a menace. And that was causing everyone else to be a menace. And then it was just, it was good stuff.
Just getting caught up in his whirlwind.
It would have gone on longer as well if we hadn't have got chucked out for the for the silent disco, because I was like, what the fuck? Like, I want to stand in here drinking with my friends. And they were like, no, you've got to leave now. So me and Tom and a couple of other people went back to the tents, and then everyone sort of just, as soon as we got pushed out, I think people just went their own way, because I didn't say goodbye to many people. So I'm guessing people just, when we all got pushed outside, everyone went, right, that's it. Bye.
Yeah. I think I was quite drunk by that point. because I don't know what I did after the meet up on the Thursday. I don't fully remember. My friends might be able to remind me. No, I don't know. Did I come back? No. Yes, because you went back to the... Yeah, you went back to the campsite with a few other people. Dippy Donuts came back, didn't they?
Yeah. We brought I was like, should we just go back and start drinking? And everyone was like, yeah. So we just went back.
Yeah, and
Grabbed
I'm
some
sure
drinks and
I'm
stuff.
in your vlog a little bit.
You might have been with us. Yeah,
and I did see that bit, and I was like, I don't remember being at the camp at this on a Thursday night. I don't remember going back there.
Yeah, see, I was a bit wasted by that point because I'd waited an entire day and a half to get drunk at this point because obviously didn't get drunk on the Wednesday, couldn't get drunk before the show, and then only started to sort of drink after the show. So by about 6:30, 7-ish, I was well on the way to being quite drunk. And if I would have gone over the level, I would have been in the doghouse all night. But I had Vicky, obviously, I was like, I can't go too mental just in case. Yeah. So it kind of held me, not that she held me back, I don't mean it like that, but I had to be a little bit more restrained this year. Otherwise, I would just would have gone raggo, drunk all of Kieran and Courtney's drinks and then partied till the cows came home. So, but I couldn't do that.
Yeah. I think, I don't think I had a nap on the Wednesday or Thursday this year, which is crazy for me. I didn't have an afternoon nap, so that could be why I got so drunk. Well, I drank. There was lots of strong alcohol going around. That's why I got so drunk.
Definitely.
But the naps might have helped with it. But do you know what? I'm not sure if I said this to you at download, but do you know what the meetup felt like to me? It felt like our wedding, because like you said, there was lots of small groups of people, and we had to sort of make sure we went around talking to all of them.
That is a bit like a wedding.
You can see another group of people that you haven't spoke to on your left-hand side, and it's like, oh, I need to talk to them. Right, sorry guys, I got to go speak to these people. And you were going around separately.
Yeah. I was going one way, you were going the... It's like a figure eight, but we never actually talked to each other.
No, yeah, that was, but it was so cool. Like you said, really.
It's always one of my I know we only done it for the first time last year, but like. The meetup was my favourite part of Download last year, and it's the favourite part, doing the show and meeting people is my favourite part of the weekend again. Yeah. I love it. It's so like just inside soul smiling when you see all these people that we've like brought together and they're all chatting. Yeah. And like everyone else is having a good time. We don't have to fucking be there. We've just brought these people together. It's not about us. It's about all the people that we've brought together. So I like that. I like kind of just looking around and being like, they're all chatting. They're at the bar getting fucked. They're back there doing something fucking weird. Yeah. Chids is over there running around. Kieran and Courtney are feeding everyone fucking weird alcohol. Stu's over there fucking filming something. Like it just felt really cool. Like we'd created like this little universe that everyone was in. Yeah. So it was awesome.
Yeah, because I remember saying to you as well, like it was so cool in there. Like everybody was there because they enjoyed the podcast. Everyone was there. Well, mostly for us, but for each other as well. And just like looking around at people, if we walked 100 meters up to the District X, maybe 1 in 100 people might have known who we were. And it's like I kind of understand that feeling now. Like I've thought a few times, like when bands, they go on about their fans are the best fans, and I'm like, well, you're just saying that, aren't you? But like I kind of understand it a little bit more now. You get in with your fans. At the same time as well, not just have them as fans at arm's length. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And the Dear Downer community is the best community. So standard.
It's not just a thing people say. I understand.
Yeah, he gets it.
But yeah, like I said, when I was thinking about it, when nobody's up there, we're the bride and groom here.
The bride and groom.
The groom and groom.
The groom and groom. Oh. Yeah, now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. and Mr. Dear Download. It's just us walking out.
That's the second time it's felt like our wedding to me. Some long-time listeners or some people who have gone back through all the others might remember the other time. Do you remember the other time?
No.
The first time we ever met. So at the Tamworth services in 2022. And I think I was the only person who wanted to have a cigarette from my group. you were already there. So my group came in, was chatting to you, and you must have been like, oh, okay, so where's Adam? Like, you're all here, but where's Adam? So it was just like, and then I walk in like the bride, and you were just stood at the end of the aisle waiting for me. I'm pretty sure I said it at the time, but it's like,
okay, I remember it now. Yeah, but yeah, that's very weddingy, isn't it? Everyone else comes in first, and then you walk in.
Yeah, because we'd already been talking for like a full year before that.
Yeah,
we covered the pilot in 2021. Talking for a full year, we've never met. So
never met
this is
in
the
the
first
flesh.
Meeting, and it was exciting. It was really cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
That
was great.
Yeah.
Now I can't fucking stand you, but yeah.
Yeah. But you ain't getting a download on your own.
It's like a real marriage. Fucking can't stand you now.
Awesome. The meetup, was there anything? So yeah, we got very drunk, very happy at the meetup. It was really cool. Thank you all for coming. We love you.
Yeah, the
all.
weather wasn't great, so I feel like we
No.
still had a really good time. I'm sure more people would have come if the weather was a little bit better.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you to everyone that came and didn't come as well, because I'm sure we'll catch up with you next year. So it's all gravy.
Yeah. I don't blame you. There was things that I didn't do because of the weather. So, I understand completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on. I don't think I did anything. Well, I don't remember what I did Thursday night at all. I really don't. Got very drunk. Did everyone go down to the village? Did we go in town Thursday?
I don't know. I went to bed, so I have no
Went
idea.
to bed. I don't know. Thursday is a blur.
Again, that was probably the latest I stayed up. I was probably, I reckon, about half 12. I was in bed.
Yeah. Hang on. Oh, that's when it started raining, actually. Just going back a little bit. It was raining at the beginning of the meetup, and it rained most of the night,
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah. You just said, I remember when we were with Kieran and Courtney and Tom and everyone else, and we were at the tent after the meetup, and we were under the gazebo, and it was raining quite bad at that point. I think I remember on the vlog thinking, this is the most it's rained the whole time since we were there on a Thursday. So yeah, probably just started from there, didn't it?
Yeah, that's where it all began.
Although Friday morning was lovely again.
It was, yeah.
So
until that big storm cloud came over.
It was a weird
We were wandering
one,
around at the top of the camp. So Friday morning, anyway, yeah, we were wandering around at the top of the camp. And because it went down a little bit, you could see for miles, and it's just this huge black cloud in the distance, and we were like, is that coming our way, or is it going a different way? But of course it was coming our way.
Yeah. I felt good on Friday morning. I kind of like I did, even though I got a little bit drunk on Thursday, I think because I got so much sleep. Like Friday morning was one of my best mornings at Download. I feel like everyone was at the camp, everyone was ready for the bands were starting later, so everyone had a little bit of time to chill. We'd done like a tiny little bit of morning drinking. I remember me and Stu sitting there, and I'm thinking, it's too early to start drinking, innit? And then Stu was like, I don't know. Then he pulled out like a giant bottle of cider, and I remember just being like, okay, he's on it, I'm going to get on it as well. And then Chid started drinking, and I really enjoyed Friday morning. I thought it was good vibes in our camp. Everyone just chilling, had some tunes on, everyone having a couple of beers just to get the day started before the bands kicked off. I thought it was good.
I wasn't doing much of that on the Friday morning. Did I do anything on Friday? Most of what I remember from Friday was after it had started raining, and then we went into Dave's tent for a little bit, and I was just waiting to have to go and meet Kelly, and then I basically ran to Defects. But yes, it did absolutely chuck it down on the Friday.
Yeah.
For a few hours as well, wasn't it?
And for the second time running, during Baby Metal.
Oh, yeah.
Baby Metal got rained off in 2016, and they got rained off this time again as well. They must think, fuck playing England. We just get rained off. They didn't get rained off in 2018, but they got rained off in 2016 and this year.
Yeah, I saw them in 2018. But yeah, so I obviously, my partner Kelly was driving up on the Friday, and I knew I'd have to go and meet her. Defects should have been on at 1 o'clock, so I should have been fine to watch them. And then it got pushed back because all the bands that pulled out.
Yeah.
And then they were playing about the time she would have been arriving. But she'd already messaged me and said there was traffic and everything. It was going to be later. So it got to about 25 minutes before Defects. I'd already messaged the WhatsApp group saying I ain't going to make it. Any band, they could have clashed with any band. I would have gone to see Defects. But they're clashing with meeting my partner in the car park. And I can't. That's something I can't
Excuse
do.
me. Can you say that again? Your fiancé?
Me fiance. Yeah, it's weird to say. I don't say it very often.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
You got to say it right,
weird.
mate. Your fiance.
Yeah, my fiance. Okay. Yeah, she was coming, and but yeah, she like I said, so she'd already said she was going to be a bit later anyway. So I was like, do you know what? I reckon I can make defects. So I power walked all the way to the arena. Once I got into the arena, I was running to the dog tooth stage, and I got there in a bit of shit. It was the sound was awful. I couldn't hear the guitar, or the drums were too loud. Couldn't hear his screaming. Only a bit parts of his singing. Yeah, it was not enjoyable. I don't think.
Yeah.
Where pointless going. Should have just put it on your little stereo back at the campsite. The album. Would have enjoyed it more.
Put the album on. That's a shame. Yeah, there were. I mean, we'll talk about the other days. Obviously, we've decided now in part 2 we're going to talk about Friday now at the end of this episode.
Friday mostly.
But there were quite a few sound issues this year, which is quite unlike Download. I think normally there'll be a couple of things here and there, wind permitting. But we'll get to that. But yeah, there were a few sound issues, especially on the indoor stages.
Yeah,
this year.
Yeah. Well, so that was most of my beginning part of Friday, because after defects I had to go meet my fiance, and then walk back to the campsite with her, drop all her stuff off. So, what did your Friday entail?
It entailed. So we just chilled for a bit because we weren't going to go in until Earn.
Right.
So they were playing after defects, I believe. So at that point, you would have got. Or actually, no. I think you did bring Kelly back to the tent. So you might have done that just before we went to Earn. Actually,
okay.
Unless you went somewhere before and we'd already come back. But anyway, yes, we obviously. I would not miss Earn at a festival. One of my favourite sort of prog bands. Also, we found out might be fans of the show as well.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Yeah.
So, which is great because I just said before to people, like, I spent so long fanboying over Earn, never realising that they might actually listen to the show. Yeah. And I just sound like an absolute nerd because I'm just bigging them up to everyone. But I do really love this band. And as always, they were fucking fantastic. It was a great way to start off my festival. Yeah. Again, not the best sound. They had much better sound at Bloodstock. They sounded amazing. They always sound amazing. But yeah, I felt like in that tent, apart from Fear Factory, which we'll talk about, who sounded fucking unreal, there was something dodgy going on with the sound on the Dogtooth stage this time. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
So Earn were fantastic. Loved it. I know Chids was right at the front, and he got me into Earn. Yeah. He's a huge Earn fan, so he obviously had the best time being right in the front for Earn. But we were quite close, and I just love it. At that point, if I could have screamed along, I would have, but I did sing along to all the singing parts. So again, Earn, if you like prog metal or just metal, you should listen to Earn because they're fucking unreal. And then we stayed for the Callous Boys, who are legitimately an insane band, but sounded pretty terrible.
Really?
And nothing to do with them. It's to do with, again, the mixing and sound in that tent. I'm not quite sure if anyone knew. I'm not sure if they had their own tech or it was someone else doing it. But the sound for them was not good. Not good. Really? I could imagine, because their music's so complex. So there's so many different,
like brass,
so many different tones and rhythms, and they have violin, everything. And it just seemed a bit off. Like their performance was good. I still really like them as a band. I'd love to see them at their own show, which would be great. I will go and see them at their own show when they come over. But yeah, it kind of. I was bigging them up to my brother, and he's like, "Oh, they were really good," but I was like, "Yeah, but the sound wasn't great."
Yeah, and
he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Damn," because I really wanted him to like them. So,
yeah. Well, I was just about to say actually before as well. For defects, it's possible that it was my positioning to the speakers because I was over on the left hand side. So I don't want to be slagging somebody off when it might have been my perspective. But it sounds like it was pretty bad for a lot of people over the weekend.
Oh, well,
probably.
I was stage left for Earn and stage right for the Callous Boys, so I had both perspectives of that, and not great.
No, I think that I think Defects might have actually been the only band I saw on the Dogtooth over the whole weekend. I think they were. Yeah, because when Kelly, we got back to the campsite with Kelly and everything, and I think we sat down for a little bit because she'd had a long day, and went to the arena, and she was like, "Right, I want to see Busted," and I was like, "There's no way we're getting in that tent." They start in 10 minutes. We needed to be there an hour before they started to get into the tent, and I think
100%.
that was actually the case. People were there for Wheatus, and people were there outside the tent for Wheatus, and they didn't get in through Wheatus or through Busted, which was ridiculous. Yeah. So I said to her,
"Yeah, people just would have stayed there. That probably were. Some people probably parked up there the whole day, dude.
Yeah,
just to see Busted.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, people said Busted were really good, really great.
Yeah.
So
they were always going to be.
Yeah, they're always going to be. Yeah. I just haters gone hate, innit?
Yeah.
Busted are a good band, and I bet they were great. If you watched them, awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've said it a few times, but like we're 25, so like people who are maybe 5-6 years younger than us, 19, 20-year-olds, their band growing up was their Linkin Park, Papa Roach growing up was Busted, you know?
Yeah.
So you think about all the great bands that had that boom when we were growing up, you know, it's the same thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I had absolutely no problem with Busted. They sounded good. Yeah, we caught a bit of their set. I can't remember if they just finished, but we went and saw Funeral for a Friend after. That was the only bands we saw on the Friday, actually. Yeah, so we were quite far back for Funeral for a Friend. My legs were already aching at this point, so I went and got a beer. Stood quite far back. The lights were really cool. Actually, you said about that as well, didn't you? We were talking about the production.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point actually, because the sound on the Dogtooth wasn't great, but the lighting production was way better than normal. I'm not saying it's ever been bad before, but they'd either put more lighting in or just more movable lighting in. Because if you compare the Dogtooth stage in like 2016-17 and you look at the lighting design now, it is worlds apart. The lighting for Urn was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And this is just, on the air quotes, even though it's not a small stage, the small stage at Download. So across all the stages, apart from the main stage, because I didn't really watch that many headliners, but especially on the second stage and the Dogtooth stage, the production was fucking excellent from a lighting perspective. So big up the lighting crew, because really, really great stuff, I thought, this year from a production standpoint.
Yeah.
I didn't see really good.
I didn't see many others on the Dogtooth, but yeah, Funeral for a Friend on the second stage, just the lights were incredible. They were just all over the place, going everywhere. Like, it looked really good, even from quite a distance.
Yeah, they were great.
I would have liked to have got closer to for a lot of bands. I didn't get close for very many at all this year, but that was my own stupid fault for not taking wellies and not trusting the mud down the front and injuring myself. I'd already been off sick from work the week before Download. I don't want to go off sick again.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
Yeah.
So saw them Calistao boys. Who did you see after that fact? Did you see anyone else? You just said Busted, didn't you?
Busted.
You tried to get into Busted.
Friend. Then that was it.
Okay. Well, before Funeral for a Friend, who I saw Mr. Bungle.
I heard lots of people talking about him.
Yeah, you missed out, dude.
Yeah.
They were fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So just everything you expect the weirdness of Mr. Bungle to be live. And I tell you what, Mike Patton just still sounds fucking unreal, man. That guy's voice just doesn't. Some singers, they do lose their voice over time, or their voice changes. Yeah. His voice is fucking unreal still. And obviously, for me personally, I do think he is one of the greatest singers of all time. A lot of people disagree with me on that. But wow, yeah, I was blown away. As being such a big Mike Patton fan, I just like, this is just so fucking good. And he's so weird.
Yeah.
And the band are so weird, and they just do weird shit, and they play weird stuff, and he was coming up with all these crazy, insane stories about aliens abducting him and fucking his hair up and just loads of crazy shit, basically. But from a musical standpoint, absolutely unreal. Absolutely. They had Scott Ian, Anthrax guitarist, playing guitar for them because he played guitars on the Thrash album. So they played quite a lot of that. Vicky likes the song where he says "Speak Spanish or Die" because it's so random. He speaks loads of Spanish stuff over this Thrash song, and it stops, and he just says "Speak Spanish or Die," and Vicky's just like, "That's so fucking weird." I'm like, I know, it's Mike Patton, of course it's going to be. But they played loads of stuff from the new Thrash album. They played a little bits here and there from a couple of other stuff. My nephew, who came with us, who we haven't spoke about yet, he's obviously like 14 years old. He thought Mr. Bungle were fucking incredible. Do you know why? Because not only are they really talented, they're weird and funny. Yeah. So when he started getting out all these little weird animal horn noises into the microphone, he was literally looking back at me like, what the fuck is happening right now? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I have no idea. So I think that even the normies that sort of watched Mr. Bungle to sort of just see what it was about, I genuinely think you could feel how good the vibe was for them. Yeah. So, and you know, I never ever thought I would get to see Mr. Bungle. So this was a huge tick off the list. And it just, me and my sister were talking and we were just like, I want Faith No More to play Download so fucking bad now. Like, oh my God, that would be incredible. So hopefully that happens in the future. But yeah. So
they haven't done it for a while, have they?
They haven't played
2018?
No, 2015. They supported.
They've headlined one year as
Slipknot,
well.
I think.
Didn't they?
2009.
Was it 2009? Fuck me.
Yeah.
When the whole stage was white. Was it that time?
That was 2015 when it was white. It was red in 2009.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm too much of a fucking Faith No More nerd. Even know what colour this fucking stages were. What an idiot. But yeah, so we were like, oh God, really want Faith No More to play because that would be unreal. So we never know if that would happen. But yeah, never thought I would get to see Mr. Bungle. Just thrilled by it. Big, massive smile on everyone's faces after they finished.
Yeah.
Everybody
at our camp that saw it said it was amazing. Yeah. Constantly talking about how good it was for several hours or days after.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. So awesome.
Did you see anybody else?
Go on. No, we went and got some drinks and stuff. We then went to watch the first, I want to say 4 or 5 songs of Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah.
Which was great. Like I said, I would have loved to have watched all of Queens of the Stone Age. I can't really tick them off of my list because I really want to see them at their own show because I genuinely love them. But the opportunity to see Funeral for a Friend headline a stage with Lucas on vocals with full production for me was too much to pass up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
so
I get that.
I can see Queens of the Stone Age again. I might never get to see Lucas sing for Funeral for a Friend again when they get their new singer, whenever that is. So
yeah,
I was like, watch as much of Queens of the Stone Age as I can before we had to go to Funeral for a Friend. So I saw the first 5 songs of Queens of the Stone Age, sounded great. Would have loved to have been down the front, dancing my ass off the whole time. Production looked great, awesome. But it was all about Funeral for a Friend. So yeah, I was literally like, great, okay. And literally the three second stage headliners of this festival are 3 of my favourite bands, which is Funeral for a Friend, Pantera, and Machine Head.
Yeah,
they are headliners for me in a personal capacity. So the second stage was just the one for me this year for headliners, like just fucking unreal. But anyway, I don't have to tell you, Funeral for a Friend were like they were great at Slam Dunk, but they were fucking unreal headlining this stage. Wow. Like fucking unreal. The performance was great. Lucas was fantastic. The crowd sung every single fucking word. The lights
How close
were
did you
just
get
unreal. We were behind. We were just sort of not too far away from the barrier. So there was a front separation, the barrier, and then us. So because we were with Preston and Amanda and everyone, so I didn't want to go right in, but we still had a fucking the sound on the second stage the whole weekend was amazing, and I mean amazing. Every single band I saw on the second stage sounded fucking great. So completely different experience on the Opus stage from the Dogtooth, because barring Fear Factory, for some reason the sound just got good. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
Got good.
It just got good. I was like, wait a minute, why does this stage sound good just now? So I don't know how that happened, but yeah, the second stage was great. Definitely the best sounding stage at Download. Sounded better than the main stage, 100%. Which is quite rare, but yeah. Anyway, because the second stage is the one normally people complain about, don't they? Because the sound moves around so much.
Yeah.
But for some reason there was just no wind this year, so the second stage sounded fucking fantastic.
Yeah. I was just about to pick up on you saying you couldn't mess out Funeral for a Friend, but we never actually spoke about the fact that they replaced Bad Omens. And I think that's a weird replacement, because Funeral for a Friend are very much a band of the past. They're still good, but they haven't released much that's relevant recently. Bad Omens are very, very brand new. And it's like you're probably going to get two completely different audiences for the two bands. Which
who are you going to get in that quickly that's going to do a full hour set?
That's true. Yeah. No.
That are just ready to go, pretty much. Apart from Skindred.
Skindred,
and I bet Annie Copping said if I bring Skindred back again, I'm going to get fucking stoned to death the next time I come to Download. So he probably thought, I don't know, I'll just get another Welsh band. I'll get Funeral for a Friend to do it.
They're always ready and available. There's loads.
Yeah, every Welsh band is always ready to go whenever you want them to.
And there's so many good Welsh bands. Like
great Welsh bands,
something we've never spoken about before, but like loads of them, all from the same area. Butler. Well, I'm not going to go through all of them, but yeah, Skindred, Funeral for a Friend.
Bullet for Valentine.
Did I say it? I thought I said them.
No.
Yeah. Holding Absence.
Yeah. Great.
Fucking loads of them.
We should one day just do a special on just good Welsh bands, because there's fucking loads.
We should do that.
There are so many.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny when we were at Funeral for a Friend. I think it was Chids that turned around to me and said, I didn't know you liked this band this much, because I was singing every single word of every single song, and he was like, you know all the fucking words to it. So I'm like, I fucking love Funeral for a Friend, dude. I don't think he realised quite how much of a fan, because like my sister was a huge fan back in the day, so she knew all the old stuff. But I was singing everything. Vicky loves them. My brother is a massive Funeral Friend fan, so we were all just there, like arms in the air, just singing every single word. So it was very therapeutic. I was very close to getting quite emotional for it as well. I nearly done a kill switch, because I was like, their music's quite emotional anyway. But I was normally like, I'm so happy right now, I think I might have a little cry, but I didn't this time. I just wanted to sing. But yeah, so it nearly got me there. So, but it was Oh, you were there. It was fucking great.
It was. Like I said, we were stood. The path that goes along behind the sound tower. We were stood a little bit back behind that path, a little bit further back than the path. So yeah, it wasn't that close. I couldn't really see the stage very well, especially it was dark at that point, and he had all the lights on, so I couldn't really see the people on the stage. So I do have a few regrets of this year. I think Wellies being one of them, but I was already tired and aching. I would have liked to have gone down to see some of the bands a bit closer, but always next year. I guess.
was going to say, there's always next year. You won't make the same mistake twice. So
yeah, cool. But yeah, Funeral for a Friend were amazing. I just wanted to pick up on that we'd not actually talked about the fact that they replaced Bad Omens. But
who?
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you've been serious. Is this a joking? Is this? I don't know. I'll react to that. Yeah. But yeah, there wasn't much they could have done at that point. But yeah, we just hadn't talked about it.
No. That's cool. But for me, that was the perfect way to end that day. I was absolutely buzzing after that, and we did go to the doghouse for a little bit because we were so pumped up on energy. We were just like, that was so good. Like, that was so good. We have to go. So it was great. Great way to end the Friday.
Yeah. I don't remember the last time I saw Funeral for a Friend either. I think it might have been on the Avalanche stage, 2018 or 2019 or something like that.
2022 was the last time they played on the Avalanche.
Yeah, I don't think I saw them because you said they were pretty bad that time.
It wasn't
Maybe I did
great.
see them.
It wasn't that they were bad. It's that his voice was
His
done.
voice was gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I might have seen them the time before that, but I can't remember what year that was. But anyway, yeah, that was most of the Friday. I'm sure we'll remember some bits and come back to the Friday a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to call it there for this episode. Still so much to talk to. I'm so glad. I was actually worried that we would get everything in one episode. We'll be like, shit, we normally do two episodes.
No. we've got. There is a lot to talk about on Saturday and Sunday, and everything else. There is still tons of stuff to talk about that we haven't even touched the surface of or talked about at all. So I've got loads more shit to talk about. So we will do lots more
poisoning.
Yes. Hey. We will do lots more babbling about that shit. Oh, we got to talk about food. In the next episode, I have a lot to say about food this year. So I'll go through all of the food and give you guys, the lowdown.
Awesome. But for now, that's it for the next 2 weeks. You can expect that the next episode about Saturday, Sunday, and everything else in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for listening. This has been a cool one. We have to say thank you to our Patreons. We have a brand new Patreon.
Patreon.
He joined just before download, I think. And his name is Mike Ferris. I showed you the message he sent.
Yes.
In the Discord. So Mike, I was joint best man for his wedding. I've known him since I was like 4 or something. He's an amazing guy. He's coming over. Actually, he's coming over from Japan. He lives in Japan, but he's coming over for like 5 weeks. I haven't seen him for something like 7 years. So yeah, looking forward to him. But he joined the Patreon. What an absolute legend. He is the guy who played football for the Boardies that I said about before as well. He's the man who invented Gur camping. So many things this guy has done. So I want to talk a little bit more about him, not just the fact that he's a new Patreon and he's giving us his money now, but he's an absolute legend too.
Nice.
So Mike, thank you for becoming a patron. We have to say thank you to all our other Patreons as well. And I did put a thing out to say, change your names before this one. And we had some good ones. I'm just going to refresh the page just in case any of them changed it since loading it up before talking about this. So thank you. A massive, massive thank you, you massive legends, to all our Patreons. Mike Ferris, Mike Oxmall, Liam, Lee Superhuman Newman, Tom West, Aaron Bell. Ye podcast is Geet Canny Azoot. I still don't understand that. That's Vicky. I think she explained that to us a little bit at download. I think.
Not to me, maybe to you.
Maybe to me.
I was laughing because I know, Vicky, you're listening to this, but it was so funny, like people having to translate for you to Adam, because when he was drunk, he had no fucking idea what you were saying. It was good. And I was like, why can you not understand what she's like? I can understand everything she's saying perfectly, but for some reason, Adam was just like, eh? What?
I don't remember being that bad. Or that misunderstanding or mishearing.
It's great fun,
that's
man.
new to me at the moment, so I apologise if I... Well, we'll get to another Patreon in a minute. I apologise if it was that bad. Ye podcast is Geet Canny Azoot. Cheers, vids. Ethan Brown, Matthew, Chris, Adam hates all northern accents, Henderson.
Yes. Oh, he actually does. I don't think he likes the north, guys.
I don't
He's
north.
way too southwest for the north. He can't get on board.
Fuck off. All I want is cider and Cornish pasties, all right? Get out. Get off my land. Fuck off my tratter. Scott Seeger, he left the fucking band. I'm old and can't work technology. 910 do. Norma Sarsoul. I survived a Yorkshire pudding at download. Dean Delicado. Do not feed the geese, they're dead. You're all looking sufficiently muddy right now. And Andy Copping uses mud as lube. You lot are all fucking massive legends.
Oh,
You were
Jesus
legends
Christ.
before.
You're
This
gonna
has
kill me,
made you
man.
even more legends. Thank you. That was good. That was a good one.
Oh shit, that was great.
You good? How you
That
doing?
was great. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. That killed. Some of those were fucking amazing. Well done, guys.
That was good. Thank you all, you massive legends. If anybody else wants to join the Patreon, you get certain things with different tiers. We have several tiers. You can find the Linktree in the episode notes. That will take you to all the links that we have that you might want, including the Patreon, but we'll have all the social medias. An invite to the Discord in there if you want to join the Discord, which is amazing at the moment. Come and tell us your go-to meal deal, because that's the most important thing right now. If anybody wants to write to us and tell us how your download was, we would love that. We'll read it out. We want to hear what you thought because it was so cool. I mean, we force our opinion on you, so why don't you tell us what you thought as well? We'd love to read them. We'll read them out on the show at some point in the next few weeks. And yeah, so it's time to go. What was I going to say? At this point, I just want to give a massive shout out as well, personally, to two of my good friends, Dave and Jacobs, who I mean, Jacobs has been coming to download again with me since 2018. Yeah, 2018. And Dave started coming again last year. Two of my longest best friends, like most friends, like most long-term friends. You know, we had a bit of a time where we weren't talking to each other that much, but the last couple of years we've just been really, really solid friends again. Even like it's weird, we were always together drinking together when we were sort of 18, 19, going to the pub, and now they are both my joint best men for when we get married in a couple of years. And when we first started, me and you, we were talking about how, you know, when you get in a band, you know, you immediately expect all your friends to be as excited about it as you, but that never happens. Your friends don't listen to your stuff. Well, both
No.
Jacobs and Dave, you know, make an effort to listen to this, which means a lot to me. So thank you both for doing that. Like, I had that sort of realization over the weekend of download. I thought, like, we had
Nice.
that conversation, but they both listened. Dave actually had to catch up right from the beginning a few months ago. So
Christ.
yeah. So
job and a half.
thank you guys are both absolute legends. Dave, you drove us all up there, and you've done so much recently. Jacobs obviously came on stage and helped us do the photography and throw out some Snickers. So those guys have been absolutely amazing to me recently, and I just wanted to give this personal shout out to them as well at the end of this. But yeah, so thank you again all for listening. We've been Dear Download. Next episode, you can hear all about the Saturday, Sunday, and everything else. So for now, it's a goodbye from Simon. And a goodbye from me. Goodbye.
We should probably tell everyone that there is a trick to get into, not a trick, but there is a way to get into RIP. Oh no, wait, won't say that because we don't want to